Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BP, and this is the 555 Challenge. We are in May, guys. Got the corn rolled last night before it popped up. It was well into the night before we got the rolling done. But the corn is coming up and looking good. We did get all of our silage sold overnight. I think it was about 1.5 million liters of silage. We put just about 100,000 into the TMR mixer to keep the dairy barn full and got a load put in there. Today we are working the newest grass field. It's getting its final cut, and then we need to convert it to a cornfield and get it planted. So we have a lot of work to do in our new field. So I thought we'd start by getting over there and getting it mowed, because then we got to bale it, and then we got to pick up the bales, and then we have to get it plowed. Maybe even mulched. Can you mulch freshly cut grass? I'm not sure if you can or cannot. I would assume you can't, but maybe we'll give that a try. And then get it planted and rolled. So it's going to be a heavy day in the field over here, getting everything done and wrapped up. So first and foremost, let's get the mowing done. I'm going to throw that on a time lapse and get that done here real quick, and I'll catch up with you guys when it's done. Oh, just to go around the outside and pull a little extra grass in. I've been doing this on all of our grass and clover fields. Just trying to get as much silage out of this as we can. Plus, it helps clean up some of the outside rows a little bit. So we'll just run around, grab this. Then we're going to head back over and get the baler, get him set up on a worker. As you guys can see, we've got $108,000 in the bank. We are hoping to keep that balance up and get, I think it's the rice oil cells in June. But we want to keep that up because we're trying to find another field to buy before August. So we're going to get this silage, or this grass, turned into silage and go ahead and sell all of that as well. And just, as I said, just try to keep our balance up, even though we have those $50,000 a month payments, so we can get a new field purchased. Almost done with the outside passes. I was looking while this was getting mowed, and I'm thinking there's a little area down here. Let's get to it. Just past these trees on the sort of second half of the field down here by the river, there's a spot where I think we could pop out a little bit. Right here, I'm thinking maybe we take this field out, like out here, just like this wide. take it down to the river a little bit and bring some extra land into the field. We could also pop back out over here. We want to be maximizing our field area if we can. And I think adding this little bit on the end is going to help. And since we'll have the plow out anyways, won't make much of a difference in regards to how much work it is to get that done. So let's finish mowing this up. That'll also give us a nice outline just for the area that we want to do. We don't want to be too tight to the trees because then the harvester will get stuck and everything else. And I like the landscaping in the area, so we'll try to keep as much of that as possible. All right. So I think that is all of our passes around the outside. Let's go ahead and get the mower folded up. I'm going to run back to the farm and grab the baler. We're going to have to go around the outside and get those areas that are beyond the edge of the field. So I'll come back with you guys when I have that baler all set up, and we'll get this baled and then ready to be mowed, or ready to be plowed and planted. See you guys in a minute. Pulling back onto our newest grass field, let's take a loop around the outside and get these bales, or this grass, pulled into the field and picked up. One of the nice things I like about doing this outside pass as well is that this baler will occasionally leave a little bit of grass on the field. Even though it's supposed to windrow it all in, it just gets too much. You can't pick it up as quickly as it comes in. So doing this outside pass and pulling all that grass into the field means that when we set this guy off on his headland pass, we will be good to go. It won't miss anything around the outside. Now, let's see. Let's get picked up here. Oh, perfect. We just left some bales on the edge of the road. Well, good news is, it's funny, almost all of the telephone poles on this map you can drive through. There are a couple up by the dealership you cannot, and you can ask me how I learned that. It was the hard way. But it's nice that they don't have collisions on those. So here we go. This whole area down here is the area we're going to add, so they won't get any of this. But let's go ahead and grab these. Not too bad. Make sure when we're getting a row that is on the field as well, that we're on the actual field boundary, so anything that's missed is still in the path of the windrower when it comes back through. Alright, so getting pretty close to being done with the outside passes, widening this field out just a little bit. Before we can get the tractor and the baler loose on all of this, we're going to need to get the truck over here and pick up the bales. There you can see those little chunks of grass that doesn't pick up on that first pass, bringing in that outside row, and that's totally fine because we can grab it on the next time through. So let's grab this one right here. And that will, you can see this thing has, what, 435 horsepower this tractor does, and it is struggling to get up this hill. So, give me just a little bit more grass to push out that third bale. And then we'll park this guy so he can get started. There we go. Alright, so let's park him. Let's jump over to the Volvo. And we need to get the flat deck trailer out of the shed and bring it over to do some bale collecting. Because if we leave all those beautiful 3 stacks of bales, which we love about that Krone baler, is that it triples them up for us so that we don't have to worry about it. If we leave those on the field, the tractor does tend to get stuck on the field going around the outside. So we got to go pick those up first, and then we can set the tractor back on the baling, or back on the mowing course, and it will bale everything back up. One of the features I love about course play, baling can be such a challenge because you can't really put a worker on it. And there are supposed to be some great new mods out that allow AI baling. I have not personally tried those. I hope they work as well as they sound like they will, but AI baling has been a problem for a long time. And once you have course play installed and you set like your mower course up, and then you can just put your baler right back on it, it does a pretty good job of getting all that grass off the field, which makes it so much easier than having to go back and do all of the baling manually. Ooh, swing-wise, we don't clip that car. All right, so I did get this new tilt deck trailer all set up for auto load, widened it out a little bit, got everything where we wanted it to maximize its pickup, so it should be in good shape. So let's go ahead and get bale pickup mode turned on. All right, that last one didn't come off the back part of the baler, so it's not ready to be picked up yet, but that's fine. Here's another one of those little chunks of grass. Those are all fine. It'll come back and pick those up when it does its headland. So I think we got, what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. We got 18 or 21 bales off just the outside, plus our little extra we mowed up. So not a bad start to getting some more silage made and sold. I think last time this field made us just about $45,000 on the silage, which would be great. Take us up to about $150,000 on the day, which means when we make our loan payment, we should still have $100,000 in the bank, which would be great. So let's get these picked up. A couple more to go, and then we'll set the Magnum back out on its way to get the rest of this grass baled up. And while that's happening, we've got a little project to run up and take care of at the store. Let him run. So let's see. First off, let's get turned on. Let's get any partial bales and just let this thing reset. Yeah, perfect. All right, now we want it to start on its first waypoint. And actually, I do want to see what is the... Let's bring the cruise control speed down to 16. Make sure it gets all of the grass it can. So, have a partial load of bales here. We are going to drop those on the edge of the field. Need to maybe put in a pull-off entry for this field over here. That is a steep pull-off. Maybe we should cut one in now while we're waiting on the rest of the bales. Okay, so those should be out of the way. I do wonder if we should just come in here and give me some gravel. Something just to give us an access point, because we're going to need it when we bring like the harvester and stuff over. So let's just make a little access pull off here. There, that's not too shabby. Just give us a route to take, because that other area is pretty steep. I do wonder, maybe we should throw a quick flatten on that, or a quick smoothing on that, and just see if that brings it up at all. I don't think it's going to. I think the road is stuck. So, okay. Not a big deal. Now we have a pull-off for our field. The nice addition. All right, we're going to run up here to the shop, and as I said, have a little bit of a surprise up there. Another great item in the sale actually came through yesterday, but we didn't have the funds till the end of the episode, so I grabbed it. And we also picked up some tree saplings. I think we need to get those in the ground. I found an area along the edge of the grass field, and we can certainly hit the areas around the edges of the cow pastures. And I think we want to put some lodgepole pines up and have that be an investment long term. Anytime some tree pallets come up in the sale, I try to grab them. So, pulling up here, as you guys can see over the building, we got a stone picker in the sale. I think it was $23,000. for the stone picker. Nice addition to the farm. We will need it with the addition of the cornfield. There will just be more and more stones as we are plowing more and more. So I'm going to get everything loaded up, including our pallets of tree saplings and the stone picker. Have the guys at the shop get everything put on for me. And I'll bring you guys back when we're back at the farm and ready to unload this stuff. See you guys in a minute. We are pulling back onto the farm. I grabbed the tree planter as well, just leased that so we can get that in the, we can get the trees in the ground this episode. So let's get pulled up over here and try to get everything unloaded here. So let's do this. And then let's go ahead and get that tip deck. Love the moving axle. Here it goes. Make sure we release the strap so things can move freely. Excellent. All done. So now I think we grab... I think the Versatile is going to be the best tractor to get this stuff off the trailer with. So here we are. Jump inside. And let's pull out and go grab the tree planter. I think we'll just put down to the side somewhere. Don't really need to put that away. We're going to go plant on the far side of the field. And then the stone picker, I'm not exactly sure where we're going to put that yet. All right, so let's maybe put the tree planter right in here. Okay, good. It was down, making sure we didn't plow into any of the fields. All right, we are disconnected. And here we go. Let's grab the stone picker. Haven't exactly decided where to store this guy yet. Love the ramp deck trailer. Easy to get stuff on and off. Does this just go down? Maybe it goes down in the harvester shed, since we don't use it unless after we harvest, and then we can just excuse me, then we can just grab it and go pick the field. So let's jump out here. I did notice, it's like almost like I didn't see the window above the door before. Just notice those details. Okay, let's see. Get the back end kicked around a little bit. And we got to swing it over and tuck it in behind. This is actually where we had our bale, what was it, our bale shredder we tucked in back over here when we were trying that method before we realized there was a conflict with the barn door. So there we go. All right, so he is tucked in there. Great news. Done and out of the way. So let's grab the tree planter, put it on the back of the Versatile, and I will grab some of the tree saplings. We have one pallet of sort of like semi-mature trees, or a little bit bigger. There aren't that many on there. And then our small one, we have 240 saplings. So we are talking a lot of trees to get planted here. Let's see if we can get... I've never really had much success getting these loaded automatically. Always feels like you have to throw them in here manually. So let's see. We grab the tree pallet. Yes, no, maybe. All right. Doesn't seem like they're strapped down anymore. There we are. Had to reset. Actually, I think we want this one in. Let's see about getting that loaded in first. What button do we think is load it in when it's ready? Okay. That seems to have loaded that one in, which is great. Jump back up here. Grab our other one. We'll tuck it in here. It'll load when we're done with the other one. Great. So we got some trees to plant. Oh. Got one strap done on the trailer somehow accidentally, and here we are strapped to the trailer with the versatile. Like, is the mirror holding it on? That'd be a bit weird for the mirror to be holding it. All right, so we're going to plant some trees. Maybe the end of this episode, maybe the beginning of the next one, maybe even in between. But that area, I'll go show you guys. This area right up here, I was debating expanding the grass field, which would definitely have some value, but it's not particularly level. There's a lot, and we have a lot of grass to begin with. Not that we can't have more, but I think this area over here, we're going to go ahead and plant some trees. So maybe even just, let's see what happens if we get through. All right, do we have to unfold? Is that the deal? Reattach, drop it down. There we go. Maybe we'll try to get these 40 trees planted real quick, and then I'll do the rest of the 240 I'll do separately. Don't want to have them too close to the grass field. You don't want to have to worry about mowing around them. But there's tons and tons of room over here for us to be putting some trees in. And we're just going to sort of swing around. I wouldn't say randomly. We'll try to keep them somewhat in rows. But generally speaking, we're just getting all the trees put in here. And we'll cut them down later. That's just about, let's see, that's 20. That's half of our trees right there. We'll have a little sort of baby tree farm going on over here that we can come back and harvest the trees at a later date. Getting the 240 trees out of the other pallet is going to be an absolute project. Those are going to be tough to get enough spots for. We're going to have to plant a lot more than just in this area. I think we'll probably do around the outside of some of the cow pastures and a lot of stuff like that. So, all right, well, those are in. Pull this guy back up the hill. We got our 40 sort of adolescent-sized trees or not new growth trees put in. Let's jump out and head back over to the Volvo. We are just wrapping up the plowing on the new grass field. I had to cut to the plowing, guys. Had a quick sound issue with the recording and did not get the footage between the end of the tree planting and the beginning of the plowing done. So we are finishing this up now. Have one little spot to go back and get. We did remove a tree down at that end of the field, down at the corner down there. And I had the Versatile over here with our little plow getting all the areas cut in. We extended down to the river down here on the right. I think I removed 2 more trees down there as well. And then we rounded the corner all the way down at the far end of the field. I'll show you guys real quick. We rounded the corner down here to try to smooth out that transition in hopes that the harvester will just take that as a rounded corner. So we did extend this little area down here at the bottom as well. Tried to smooth, there you go. See, I tried to smooth that corner out and make it nice and even. So now we have a reason to use our brand new rock picker. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this guy over here. We're going to sort of back him up out of the way. And we'll take the truck back to the farm, which I have blocking traffic up here. So, excuse me, guys. Sorry. As you can see, we got a boatload of bales off of there. 328,956 liters of grass, which will translate into the same amount of silage, which will give us probably right in that $40,000 to $45,000 range again, which will be great. So let's get these dropped off. We'll grab the Versatile, because that's a great tractor to do the rock picking with. Go over there and get him set up on the rock picking, and that'll probably wrap up most of the episode here. I'll get the corn planted between episodes and rolled. We've been on we've got a good length on this episode already, so I don't want to just keep going on it. And we planted corn last episode, so there's no no need to see that footage again. I might, maybe we'll put the rock picking on a quick time lapse, or at least part of it. It'll be probably too long to do a full time lapse, but we'll be able to get some of it over there to make a, to get a little footage of the rock picking. So here we are back at the farm. Let's get this stuff into the silage silo. I was saying, I think it was probably clipped in the recording. I did look it up. You cannot mulch cut grass, so we didn't miss a step in maximizing the yield on our corn field. So in that regard, we will be all set. I suppose it's going to have to be limed as well, so I'll get the lime out and do that. And luckily, we have like 9,000 liters of lime, so we are all set and good to go there to get that field prepped. I'm sure at a minimum, the new areas will have to be limed on that field, so we may as well just lime the whole thing. So there we go. All of the grass is in the fermenting silo. That will be silage before the end of the day. Love the speed on the fermenting silos on this map. So we'll get that sold, assuming there's a good place to sell it, which so far for the last 2 years, there's always been a good place to sell silage, whether it's the DGA, the animal dealer. I think we even may have sold some to the Montana, was it Hay Farm, Bale, Montana? It is Montana Hay Company. I think we sold some down there as well, so we'll get all that done. Running up here, have the Magnum, got the baler put back in the shed. The Versatile, I use this little lizard plow. If you guys can see, maybe I'll get a zoom in here. This is a cool little plow, not very expensive, and it expands and contracts, which is great for doing detail work. It's almost like 2 plows in one, because you can make it narrow and do just the edges of a field if you want to clean them up, or it's got a decent working width to do a little bit of field expansion like we did over on the newest grass field. So enjoyed that, even though we used the big case quad track and the huge Lizard SM72 plow to do most of the plowing over there, which made it nice and easy for us. You know, that plow and an articulated tractor can be very hard to do field expansion with. The articulation tends to snap the plow around a bunch and push it out past the bounds of the field or the edge you're trying to create. And having a nice small wheelbase tractor like the Versatile with a nice narrow plow that doesn't have a lot of swing on it when you turn corners is really, really nice for getting in there and maximizing your field size. So really enjoying having both the big and the little plow on there and getting all that work done. So we're going to head over here, get our rock picker up and running. We may even fill this thing. It's a decent sized field. Not sure if we'll have to do 2 rounds of it or not, but we'll get all the rocks up, get them over into the silo. Oh goodness. Okay, we lost some grass bales. Well, there was an incident. I didn't see it on the turn. You guys probably saw it on the video, or maybe we weren't zoomed out enough. I have to come back and get those grass bales at a later date. But we'll put this all into the lime production and get all that going. And before we get going too far here on the stone picking, let's see what we have as far as lime needs on this field. So let's just going to get this edge as we head down here. Okay, great. So what do we need for lime? Is it just going to be the new areas? Because that would be my assumption. Yeah, so the new areas you can see all down here. We need some, let's see, we need fertilizer. And then, yeah, we need lime all on the bottom. So we'll probably just lime that whole field so that it's all on the same schedule. All right, field work. 4 headlands, yeah, maybe 3 headlands. We'll go with rounded corners. I'm always happy to run back and just grab rocks out of the corners if we need to and check the map. Not a big deal. Don't need this thing backing up and turning around a million times. Try to keep this moving. We are on field 64, and we don't have a rock picking folder. So, rock picking. And let's go ahead and grab that. Save course. This is field 64. Let's verify that. Yes, it is. So we are good to go, and he is on the rock picking. So guys, I'm going to get the rock picking done. I'm going to get the liming done. I'm going to get the corn planted and rolled all before heading into June, which is where I will see you next. I'll leave you guys a couple of minutes of rock picking time lapse just to enjoy on the way out. But thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.